when you come to the topic of my inaugural lecture, which is that I may know. Well, while packaging inaugural lecture, while reflecting on what I want to do, I came to the conclusion that the whole essence of man is about knowledge. The whole essence of man is about seeking knowledge. Man, by my reckoning, is configured to seek knowledge. So when I said that I may know, the thing I want to enunciate in the lecture is to start from the premise that from time immemorial, man is configured to seek knowledge. And of course that dates back even to biblical times. You will realize that the Bible told us the story of Adam and Eve. God put them in the Garden of Eden. And you realize that the first independent action they took was actually an action that spoke to the quest for knowledge. You know, the Bible talks about the serpent coming to talk to Eve and all that. And significantly, you realize that what the serpent, according to the scripture, tells Eve is that, look, eat this fruit. It is the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. Eve became intrigued that, oh, so I can seek knowledge. And she took it. So which means even the first trouble that man got into is actually that man sought to know. And of course, if you now look at contemporary world, what we are doing now is that we are seeking knowledge to undo the original error of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. So the whole purpose of my inaugural lecture is actually to talk in terms of how good knowledge is, the importance of knowledge, why do we seek knowledge, what is knowledge meant for. And from my own point of view, from my own angle of research, knowledge is about enhancing the quality of life of man. So the thing is, if you are truly serious about development in Nigeria, about development on the continent of Africa, then premium must be placed on education, mass education. There should be access from primary even up to tertiary. At this point in our national lives, at this point in our development, giving premium to education is key, because knowledge liberates, knowledge sets free. You know, when we talk in terms of the problems we are having in our country today, you talk in terms of the Boko Haram insurgency and all of that, that's mentally and all of that. Now, those problems will persist as long as people are not enlightened, as long as people do not have access to knowledge, as long as people are not given access to education so they can acquire knowledge. Man, by nature, and when I say man in the generic sense, man by nature is wired to be inquisitive. Man by nature is wired to seek knowledge. Man by nature is wired to acquire knowledge. And of course, when you look at it, right from infancy, you put a baby down somewhere sitting down. That baby wants to move from point A to point B. There are things in the house the baby wants to go and pull out from where it is and all of that. What is the baby doing? The baby is actually exploring our environment, seeking knowledge of how to manipulate the environment. That is what knowledge does to you. Knowledge gives you the empowerment, gives you the capacity to manipulate your environment to suit you. Knowledge broadens your horizon. So when we talk of knowledge and the quest to know now, everybody wants to know something. But you see, we need the instrumentality of formal education to set the stage. That is when even those who do not want to take the path of formal education can still take advantage of the environment to reach their goal. Now, you know, when you are talking of formal and informal education, people are very quick to tell you about Bill Gates. You understand? Fine, Bill Gates, well, they said, as the story went, that he was in university, he dropped out from university, and he's doing well. Why was he able to do well? Now, the fundamental thing in that story, if it is true, is the fact that Bill Gates even dropped out of school because he wanted to know. It was his inquisitiveness that made him to leave formal schooling, because he got to realization that the kind of thing he needed was not being offered within the confine of the formal school setting. There should be a seamless interaction between the formal and the informal. But then the formal can set the stage. You know, we talk in terms of the town and the gown. In other words, whatever we do within the school system, we should take it to the society, deploy it within society, so that society can benefit from it. And of course, even as a researcher, you also go into the society to learn, so that you can know what obtains over there. In developed countries, over the years, those countries are developed because they are giving attention to education and attention to educating their citizenry. Unfortunately, the political class in Nigeria has over the years progressively destroyed the university education system by not funding it. You see, you cannot build on nothing, and you cannot make omelette without breaking eggs. Education is expensive, and that is why it is government that must invest in it. So if government is really serious about development, government must then come back into the university and pump money into the university. So deploy resources into the university, so that the basic ingredient that is needed to conduct research, to disseminate information, to teach and all of that can be provided. When these things are not there, you just realize that we're joking. It's a huge joke. So government should invest in education. You know, you keep hearing things like, oh, Nigerian universities are providing half-baked graduates. And of course, it will be so, because you cannot be better than the system that is training you. If government does not put money in education, then the university will have no choice but to be teaching theories. But the world had moved beyond theories. The world had moved beyond just sitting in class and reading the textbook. We are talking of hands-on now. We are talking of technology-driven education. The university will not have the capacity to do such things except universities are funded.